Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Indianapolis Bolts franchise here on MLB The Show 24. It is the off season, and yes, we had another unfortunate end to our year. Year number one, we won 89 games, went to the NL wildcard, lost to the Cardinals. Year number two, we won 94 games, went to the NL wildcard, and lost. I don't know what to do with this team. I hate every single person on this roster, including pitching, because we don't get it done. I don't know what to do. I don't know why we're losing games in the playoffs. We had a really, really good year. We won 94 games. 94! Not a lot of teams win 90-plus games every year in baseball. And we won 94 of them, and yet we go out in 3 games in the wild card round, same as last year. It's got to be our hitting. It has to be. Our pitching is done okay. Our pitching hasn't been great, let's be fair. It's really just been these two guys up here. Peralta's been okay. Skubal has sucked, and Paul Skeens is too young still. Skubal has completely sucked. But Peralta's been okay. He did fine in the postseason. He didn't do anything too crazy. And during the regular season as well. And then these two guys have been okay. They've had their moments where they've been unbelievably good, and they've had their moments where they've been unbelievably bad. But for the most part, it's really just been Skubal that's completely just sucked the entire time. And we had our manager, I think he retired actually. Or maybe I fired him. I don't remember what happened. But we have other manager options like Dave Roberts, Alex Morales, AJ Hinch, and then all these other not real guys. Who do we want to be our manager? Who's going to take us to the promised land? Who's going to take us to the World Series? That's the big question. And Dave Roberts, right off the bat, +2 power, +3 arm accuracy, +3 home runs per 9, and +3 hits per 9. That seems pretty good right off the gate. Alex Morales has +3 clutch, +2 power, +1 break, and +2 durability. AJ Hinch gives us -3 plate vision, but I don't know if the plate vision matters too much. Although, with the way our team has been hitting, or not hitting, I guess you could say, it probably would be better to not even get a guy, not even risk it with a guy that has a minus in any of his attributes. So we either go Dave Roberts or we find somebody that's super young and inexperienced and never been a manager before. That's really the two options that we have to go off of, I feel like. And I'm leaning towards Dave Roberts. I know I always go Dave Roberts, but he's really good. Achoo! So we probably are going to have to go Dave Roberts here. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I would go AJ Hinch, but he has the -3 in the plate vision, and with the way our team has been performing in the postseason, which is not great, I don't really want to give him. I don't want to give the team any more reason to potentially sim poorly in the postseason. So I think we're gonna at least make an offer for Dave Roberts. We'll give him a 4-year contract, and we'll give him $35 million. So hopefully he accepts that. And we are his top offer, but we're his only offer because we're the first team to offer him. I think I'm going to actually make a better offer there. 4 years, we'll give him $9 million. So $36 million. That boosts it up a little bit. Okay, hopefully Dave Roberts accepts that. Everybody else, I don't think we need. Yeah, we don't need to hire anybody else. We just hired a bunch of coaches last year. So we should be good on everybody else except for manager. Hopefully Dave Roberts accepts that. If he doesn't, we'll have to pivot into a different direction, obviously. Okay, so exclusive negotiations. Archie Bradley, Alberto Mondesi, and Cody Hewer. Well, Cody Hewer can go shove it up his own self because he sucked, so we're not bringing him back unless we bring him back and trade him. We have $87.63 million in available budget. We'll see how much we have after all these contract negotiations and everything. Which I think actually we don't have any contract negotiations. Yeah, we only have the exclusives right now. Maybe we'll get. I guess we haven't simulated yet to get the other stuff. So we'll see how much we have. Archie Bradley. I mean, we gave him an opportunity in the regular season. I think, right? Or did we give? No, we gave him a chance in the regular season. He started here. He played 2 games. He pitched an inning. He got killed basically. He faced 4 batters and had a 9 ERA. You suck really, Alberto. But I'll give you a contract offer because we need depth in the minor leagues in terms of like hitting. So I'll give you a contract. I'll give you like a 2-year deal, and I'll pay you $1 million per year. How's that, Alberto? Okay, so we'll give him that. Cody Hewer. Do we offer him the contract and then 20.9 for Cody Hewer on a qualifying offer is kind of wild. So I'm definitely not going to do that. But if I could pay him $1 million for 2 years and then trade him, I would do that. And Archie Bradley, we can just let go because I don't care about him. If I need to bring another pitcher in, I'll just re-sign him in free agency. But we'll see what happens. Let's get simulating here. Dave Roberts has accepted the Marlins offer. Oh, Dave. Okay, so we're not getting Dave Roberts. Now we need to pivot into a new direction. AJ Hinch has already accepted another offer. Alex Morales is currently being offered the manager job for the Tigers, but he's 61. Let's go with somebody that's super young. Somebody that's never been a manager before. Or at least we're assuming that's the storyline that we're going to create, that he's never been a manager before. So let's go down here and look for somebody that's got A attribute grade and no negatives. Stephen Vogt doesn't have a picture. That's kind of wild. But we could go with Steven. He's got -1 contact, though. I don't really want to go with him. There's got to be an A grade guy that's young, right? Is there no A grade guys that are young? I guess all the A grade guys are up here. We could take... No, -3 home runs per 9 is not great. -2 stamina. Stamina might not be that bad. But the plus... I mean, he doesn't really give us any other abilities that are really ideal. I mean, durability, fielding, and discipline. Plate discipline. I'd rather have other things, probably. What about Mark Lerma? -3 walks per 9 and -1 blocking. Not worth it. Whitley is a good one. Whitley's a good one, but he's the -1 clutch. Is that really going to hurt us that much? I don't know. I don't know if the -1 clutch is going to hurt us. I don't know if I want to take that risk or not. I might want to, though, because he's really the only one that's good. Unless we could go Valenzuela, because he only gives us -1 bunting and -1 velocity. Like, that's not really going to hurt us at all. Plus, we get +3 contact. It's between these two guys. It's between Valenzuela. I keep wanting to say Valenzuela. Valenzuela and Dan Whitley. Whitley is 37. He's kind of more along the lines of the young upstart guy that's never been a manager before. Let's go with Dan Whitley. We'll offer him a 3-year contract. Won't go too crazy on the money. Maybe give him $5 million. Okay, so hopefully Dan Whitley accepts that, and we can always make a change next season, next offseason, if we absolutely have to. So hopefully Dan Whitley accepts the offer. Last day to offer qualifying offers. That's cool. Is Whitley still discussing stuff? What's going on here? Ooh, the Rockies have jumped in, but he does not like their offer at all. So I'm hoping he just accepts it, and he becomes one of the youngest managers in baseball. Dan Whitley has accepted the Bolts offer. Thank God. Okay, so we've got our manager now. This is the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. free agency. I'm not going to sign him because I signed him in my Padres series. Even though we do need a first baseman, I think it'd be dumb to have it Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in both the Padres series and the Bolts series. So we're going to stay away from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We'll just either trade for somebody or sign somebody else, I guess. Okay, but arbitration. Definitely want to offer arbitration to Adolis Garcia. Offer the arbitration. Might as well get him as cheap as possible before we have to give him a big contract. Felix Bautista certainly gets arbitration, so we'll pay him. Tarek Skubal will bring back on arbitration so that we can simply probably trade him, to be honest with you. Smooth Jazz gets arbitration. Jonah Heim gets arbitration. Riley Green gets arbitration. Oops. There we go. Basically, everybody here gets arbitration. Andrew Vaughn. I still don't know what we're going to do at first base. Like I said, we're not going to go for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but we still need a first baseman that's more consistent than Andrew Vaughn is. So I don't know what we're going to do. but we're going to have to do something. So I've offered arbitration to everybody here. They're all hopefully going to come back in the end of the off season. But that already brings us up to $43.7 million in pending offers. Plus, we have tender contracts that we're going to do. I'm going to do all this off camera because this is a lot more stuff than the stuff. But you'll see me do like the big ones. So we'll do Sal Frelick. We'll renew his contract. Submit that. His contract's been renewed. Kyle Harrison. As long as we can get these guys as cheap as possible for as long as possible, like especially Paul Skeens, because Paul Skeens is going to be good really quickly. So if we can pay him not much, then that is the ideal situation. We'll renew that contract. Perfect. Cole Young gets his. Basically, all the young top 50 prospects get their contracts renewed. And I'll renew all the other ones or make offers on all the other guys that aren't renewable. But I'll do that off camera so I can go quicker. And then Montez, perfect. Tyler Black gets his renewed. Roger Huerta gets his renewed. Joseph Ortiz gets his renewed. Ray Segura certainly gets his. All right, so I'm going to go through and get all these other guys that are bummy. I'm going to get them back on the team. And then we will jump right into free agency and kind of figure out what we're going to do because we've got not a lot of money. We now have $69 million, nice, plus the 43 in pending offers. So we're not going to have a ton of money unless we free up some in trades with like Skubal and stuff. But we can't trade Skubal yet, I don't think, because he hasn't signed his contract yet, his tender. So I don't think we can trade him. Yeah, we can't trade him just yet. But we could probably trade one of these two guys, even though they're both really, really good. If we want to free up money, we have options. We have a couple of guys that are very expensive, like Willie Adames, who's very good. Randy Arozarena is very good but expensive. Even Jackson Chourio is very expensive. We have guys that are expensive. Not a lot, because not a lot of them have signed their contracts yet, but we have options to move. We might have to wait a little bit deeper into free agency if we want to make those trades. But yeah, we are going to probably have to make some moves if we want to free up contracts to go and actually like make one of these big time splash signings like a Will Smith. That'd be pretty awesome. Fresh Prince. I've never actually signed him to a team, I don't think. Who's our catcher right now? It's Jonah Heim. I mean, I could be persuaded. I could certainly be persuaded. I like the team. I really do like the team. Morel played a really, really good season. He didn't hit the ball very well in terms of like his average or anything. All of his splits were very, very low, but he had 32 home runs and 85 RBIs, and he was scoring runs basically. And you know that my end goal is to get Royce Lewis on the team. I don't know if that's going to be possible, even though Christopher Morel had a really good year. So we'll have to figure all that out. I'm going to go and tender all these contracts. I'll be back really quickly, and well, at least for you, it will be really quickly. And then we'll regroup. We will find out how much money we have in available budget before the pending offers. As long as we don't go under 43.7 with our available budget, we will be in the positive, we'll be in the green, and we'll be good to go. So then we can figure out what kind of direction we want to go in for free agency. So I'm going to go do this, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got it done. That brings our pending offers up to $51.1 million. And remember, our available budget is only $69 million. So we've got not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to actual free agency. Unless, like I said, we want to make some moves in the short term, like a Zach Gallen or a Shane Bieber or a Randy Arozarena. I feel like a Randy Arozarena's time here in Indianapolis has come to an end. He's been a very solid player for us. I love Randy Arozarena as a player. I think he's really, really cool, really, really good. But I think his time here in Indianapolis has come to an end, especially with that $11 million. I think Jose Leclerc's time has come to an end here in Indianapolis. And I think that's because we have Felix Bautista. We'd have to probably replace him with some other bullpen arm because Cody Hewer's going to be gone. Kyle Harrison's going to go back down to AAA. So we're not going to have a very deep bullpen. But we'll figure it out. Is there anybody in free agency that I can even offer? We can't go for anybody too crazy right now because obviously we don't have the money to do that. Any bullpen arms that we want to go for? I mean, there's Taylor Rogers. We could bring him in with his brother. That might be pretty fun. But there's not really any other bullpen guys. Chad Green's lost all of his umph. Nobody else here. Closing pitchers, Devin Williams. I mean, that would be our beautiful replacement to Jose Leclerc. I'd be totally cool with that. Or Ryan Helsley. I'd be okay with either one. But it looks like the Cardinals are offering him a little bit more than I'd be willing to offer. I could probably get in on Devin Williams and bring him back to Indy. Well, technically, first time ever because he left before we turned into Indy. So we could bring him back. I mean, we've already brought back a couple of former Brewer players. Will Smith, $70 million over 5 years to the Dodgers. I can't pay that right now. Vladdy, I certainly can't pay that. But he looks like he's going to go back to the Blue Jays. That's good. At least he's going to go back to the Blue Jays. Sometimes, most of the time, actually, Vladdy always signs with a different team. So at least he's going to get back with the Blue Jays. At least right now it looks like he will. Luis Arraez, we already have our second baseman with Juice. Third base, there's nobody better than Christopher Morel. Shortstop, Bo Bichette, don't want to pay that. Man, the Blue Jays are going to go heavy on the contracts this year. That's their fault for not paying them during the season. Austin Hayes, nobody better than, well, we could probably trade a Rosarena for. Center field, nobody good here. And then Kyle Tucker's really the only other guy that I would consider. We have Lane Thomas in the Padres series. Don't need to get him again. So it's really just Kyle Tucker and Devin Williams. Those are the two guys that I'm kind of feeling we go after. How do we acquire that much money? I don't know. Because if I offer Devin Williams a 5-year contract and we pay him $6 million a year, that leaves us with $57.11 in available. Wait, that can't be right, can it? I don't know. Let me offer Kyle Tucker too and see what happens. Okay, that brings us to $77 million. So let me withdraw that offer. Can I offer a contract to Kyle Tucker without it being over? Probably not, right? What about 3 years, $60 million? That gets us to 77. Okay. So he likes the 3-year contract. How old is he? He's 29. So if we go for where my offer is at, Kyle Tucker and Devin Williams, those are my two guys that I want to bring in. We got Kyle Tucker, 3 years, $60 million. That's not what I wanted. Well, it is what I wanted, but that's kind of wild because now we have no money to bring in Devin Williams, or we have no money to bring in the rest of our tender contracts, or I guess arbitration. But let's see what happens. Does Devin Williams sign the contract? He's waiting a long time. Vladdy. Ooh, the Marlins have jumped ahead. Marlins want Vladdy Jr. We're still ahead of the Orioles for Devin Williams. I wonder if I could change the years. I feel like 5 years is maybe a little bit too much, but he likes that a lot more than the 4 years. So, you know what? We'll keep it. Devin Williams signs with us. So that's the replacement for Jose Leclerc. We can just get rid of Jose Leclerc now. Okay, I like that a lot. Uribe, Devin Williams, and Felix Bautista. I like that 3-man setup in closer. And then I like Garrett Crochet, Trevor Rogers, and Gregory Santos as our bullpen. And then Kyle Harrison obviously going to go back down. We probably should just put him down now. Let's just send Kyle Harrison down to AAA. Does he have any more options? He has 2 more options. Perfect. He is an 82 overall. He's getting close. He's the same overall as Paul Skeens, but we're going to keep Skeens up. All right, send Kyle Harrison down. Him, Mizorowski, and, oh, man, we don't really have a lot of depth in the pitching rotation, do we? Connor Hills is going to get moved up to AAA. This guy's going to get moved down. We don't have a lot of depth in the pitching rotation, do we? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're probably going to have, let's just call it Bradley Blaylock, whatever the heck his name is. Yeah, Bradley Blaylock. And then we'll move down a AA pitcher, although we have to call up somebody here to AA to be the closer. Who's going to go down from AA? Jesse Moses. Oh, no, I want him up in AA. That's right. I drafted him. But this guy, you can get called down. Oh, nope. Actually, yeah, we need to call you down to Class A. And then we need to move somebody down to AAA, or down from AAA. It's going to be Mondesi. Mondesi doesn't need to be, he doesn't need to be in AAA. Taking time from the youngsters? No. Okay, so we've freed up the spot. Harrison goes down. Harrison goes down. We trade Cody Hewer at some point, and we trade Jose Leclerc at some point. Maybe together. Who knows? That could be a possibility. Maybe together. And then we figure out what to do after that. The lineup could change. So if I put Cody Hewer in there, this player is in the first year of a free agent contract. So Cody's got to stay until June, or until the deadline. Okay, so Cody Hewer will stay until the trade deadline, but Leclerc is free to go. And we don't need a closing pitcher because we just brought in Devin Williams. So now we can trade him for something else. I don't know what that something else is going to be, but we can trade him for something else. What is his value if I go like suggest trades? So I can get a 22-year-old A potential pitcher. Okay, he can't get anybody too crazy. I should probably trade him for starting pitching, young starting pitching, because we don't, like I said, we don't have a lot of depth there. So I could probably use some nice young starting pitching. What's a team that needs a closing pitcher? Leclerc is a 83 overall, so it looks like the Tigers need a closing pitcher. Do the Tigers have youngsters that I could play down in AAA? Robert Ramirez would be cool. Danny Davis fits. Derek Ellis probably even would be not too bad. So can I make a package of Robert Ramirez, Danny Davis, and Ty Madden's already 26. That's kind of wild. And not any of these guys. It's got to be too difficult to get. Let's see. Probably not Paul Spanos or Spanos. He doesn't really do anything too well. But does Derek Ellis really do anything that well? He's got decent gas. He throws a 97 fastball. Okay, so if I could get a package of these three guys for Leclerc and something else, I'd probably toss you in there too. I have a lot of bad players, don't I? This team is not very deep at all. I will say that. What about Mondesi? Can't trade Mondesi. Oh, no, that's Monasterio. There's Mondesi. I still can't trade him. Who could I give up? Man, even trading Rosarena wouldn't get that done. Who could I give up? I think the obvious holding me back is Danny Davis, but he throws gas. He's already 23 though, and he's 67 overall. He might not be worth it. He might not be worth it too much. The other guy, Robert Ramirez, is 19. What is there that I could give up? Because we need starting pitching depth. I think I might have to take Danny Davis out of this. I think that's the only way that I get this across. He's just a little bit too valuable for what I'm trying to give up. I don't even know if I could get it through with throwing in a bunch of these bum prospects. Joseph Ortiz, I'm not going to give up. Mondesi, I can't trade. I gotta stop doing that. Perez, I can't trade. I can trade Joffrey Rodriguez. Let's be fair. Joffrey probably never makes it to the big leagues because of all this depth that we have in front of him. So if it allows me to get two starting pitchers that aren't that great, to be honest with you, but Leclerc doesn't really have that much value. I think that might be the best thing to do. We could either do two pitchers, these two starting pitchers that we have right now, or we can take them both out and just do Danny Davis. But I feel like getting Ramirez and Ellis is probably smarter. Let me try somebody other than Joffrey. Barefoot. Murrio's close. Okay, it's got to be Joffrey. If we're going to trade Joffrey, it's got to be now. He probably never gets across, does he? I mean, we've got Churrio, Dylan Cruz, and Drew Jones ahead of him. He probably never makes it. And we've got Ben Valle, or Valle, however you want to say his name. Yeah, I think we send him to the Tigers. Do the trade. Okay, perfect. So we give them a closing pitcher that they desperately needed, and we get back 2 pitchers that we desperately needed as well to add to our minor league system, because we are very, very thin at starting pitcher, at least quality starting pitchers. So now if we go over here, we've got Robert Ramirez, who's going to go right to AAA with Kyle Harrison, Mizorowski, Connor Hills, and Bukauskas. So that means Blaylock probably drops to AA. And Derek Ellis goes to AA as well. Roderick goes to Class A. Javier Samuel goes to AA because he's got A potential. I want to see what he can do. And then this guy drops to Class A. Okay, and Javier Samuel's a top 50 prospect. Look at that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you know what? That did a little bit. I like that. It makes me feel a little bit happier. And that leaves us with $50 million. Okay, perfect. That puts the Leclerc trade puts us back in the green. So now that we can afford to offer these arbitration deals. Adding Kyle Tucker is wild, though. Adding Kyle Tucker is wild because he's going to go and play right field instead of Riley Green, wherever Riley Green's at. Oh, there's Adolis Garcia. He needs to play DH. So Kyle Tucker goes and plays right field. Riley Green goes and plays left field, at least instead of Sal Frelick. And now we just need a first baseman. And we need to trade Rosarena. How do we trade a Randy Rosarena? What do we even get back for him? That's the big question. We could possibly get Stephen Kwan. That could be pretty fun. Do I even want a left fielder? Because then that would take away from Riley Green and from Sal Frelick. So maybe we don't need a left fielder. Maybe this is how we get our first baseman. Or maybe this is how we get Royce Lewis. No, it's not. He's so good, man. Maybe this is how we get our first baseman. Can't get Matt Olson. Don't want Bryce Harper, too expensive. Who is it? Who's the first baseman that we go for? If we can't get... Well, we can probably go for Vladdy, but he's too expensive. Man, is there no first baseman? The first baseman ranking, like the first baseman core of all the teams is not great at all, is it? There's like nobody. I mean, we could get the polar bear, but do I really want Pete Alonso? He's not even making that much money. That's kind of wild, actually. I mean, it goes up a little bit for the next couple of years, but that's how he's regressing at 31. No wonder they want to trade him. That's kind of wild. We can't get Bryce Harper. Don't want Joey Meneses. Nolan Chanel. Shanuel? I don't know how to say his name. He's got 99 discipline. His contact is okay. His power's not great. He's already better than Andrew Vaughn. Man, I thought the first baseman position would be a little bit more deep. Bryce Eldridge we can't get right now. Tristan Casas? Good power. Good discipline. Do I really want Tristan Casas though? I mean, he's a cool player. But he's like the best guy available. I don't want Yandy Diaz. He's too old. Torkelson, no. I've had Torkelson before. I think it's between Pete Alonso and Tristan Casas. Unfortunately, Casas is going to make us trade other people. And I don't know who those other people are going to be because I don't have a lot of players that they want that are valuable down the roster. I wish I could trade Cody Hewer. That'd be a perfect trade to throw him in. I think Casas is probably out of the question. What about if I do this? Yeah, so there's nobody that they would want from my team, unfortunately. Except for, like, I'm not going to give myself up. Casas is probably out of the question. Yeah, there's nobody that I'm going to be able to have. So, I guess it's Pete Alonso? That doesn't feel right. I mean, Pete's a cool player, but he's regressing and he's 31. He's not expensive. If he was expensive, I totally wouldn't do that. But we still got 2 years on the deal. It makes a little bit of sense. It doesn't make a ton, but it makes a little bit of sense. What about right fielders? Nolan Jones. When did he become a 90 overall? I like it, though. How do I get Nolan Jones? Although we have a plentiful variety of outfielders, that's for sure. We could give up Sal Frelick. I don't really want to do that. If I give up Lazaro Montes, I don't really want to do that either. Maybe we don't go for Nolan Jones? There's some people that I could probably trade to get him, but I don't know if it's worth it. It's probably not. But he seems to be the best right field option available. That's at least somewhat attainable. But then again, why do we need right field? We have Kyle Tucker. I'm in a real sticky situation here. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna simulate a little bit more. I'm gonna let more people sign contracts. All right. Well, Ryan Helsley signed with the Royals. That's kind of wild. Bo Bichette signed with the Reds. Okay. Maybe the Reds are gonna do good. I hope. All right. So we got to figure out the 40-man roster. Right now we have 38 guys on it. Who do we need to make sure is absolutely on it? Don't care. Javier Samuel, probably. But we need to make sure that everybody else before him is on. Do we think that Connor Hills gets picked up? Probably not. But I'm going to put Robert Ramirez on there. And then I'll put the other dude on there, whoever it was. Javier Samuel. We'll put those two guys on the 40-man. That's going to be the 40-man roster. And we'll keep simulating. Last day to offer arbitration. I already offered all that. Yep, everybody's been offered. Perfect. So we can keep on moving. Tommy Edman signs with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Dylan Cease with the Royals. Royals going out and spending some money. Okay. Will Smith signs with the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays couldn't get Bo Bichette, so they spend that money on Fresh Prince. But Vladdy still hasn't signed yet. This is tendered contracts. We already got all that done. Yep, tendered contracts is all done. So let's keep moving. Jose Altuve traded from the Astros to the Pirates for a prospect, Khalil Watson, and then Bailey Falter. Wild. Okay. The draft lottery, we are picking at number 21 because we were in the playoffs. Even though we didn't have a good finish in the playoffs, we were still there. So we're picking number 21. I don't know how many draft picks we're going to have. Probably all of them, I would think, because we didn't make any signings in free agency that would have cost us, I don't think. Rockies move up 3 to number 1. So the Rockies have number 1 pick, then the Tigers, then the Nationals. All right, Rockies, you better spend it well. And another trade. This time it's the Rays and the Padres. Rays sending Pete Fairbanks to San Diego for 2 prospects. Okay. Now it's the Rule 5 draft. I don't see any of my guys going at the top. That's good to know. A lot of guys going, actually. You don't usually see that many people getting taken. All right, perfect. So none of my guys get taken in the Rule 5 draft, at least not that I noticed. Lane Thomas going to Boston. Vladdy's still out there, right? Yeah, Vladdy is still out there, and he might be going to Pittsburgh. What is going on with Pittsburgh? They're spending crazy money and making crazy trades and stuff. It's getting wild out here. Michael King to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to be a problem. Oh, my God. They're in our division, too. Pittsburgh is going to be a problem this year. And Vladdy signed with, oh, my God, a 10-year, $176 million deal. The Pirates said, forget about saving money. They signed Tommy Edman, Michael King, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. all in the same offseason. Plus, they did that trade. We got to go to Pittsburgh. We're right here. Okay. So Pittsburgh now has Vladimir Guerrero Jr., David Bednar, Key Brian Hayes, Jose Altuve, who they made that trade for, Teoscar, Michael King, Tommy Edman, Brian Reynolds, Henry Davis. Oh, Josiah Gray's here now. Jonathan India's in Pittsburgh. How did he get to Pittsburgh? I guess he signed in free agency last year? I don't know what happened. This team is going to be dangerous. This team is going to be dangerous. But they don't have Paul Skeens because we have Paul Skeens. So that's good. That's how they have Josiah Gray, because we traded him. Yeah, we traded Josiah Gray to Pittsburgh to get Paul Skeens. So that's how they have Josiah Gray. But this team is going to be a little bit more dangerous than I was expecting. They went crazy in free agency. That's kind of wild. And just in the offseason in general. Okay, here's arbitration. Josh Naylor signed with the Reds. That's cool. The panel sided with Skubal. Panel sided with Green. Panel sided with Gregory Santos. Panel sided with Chisholm. Panel sided with us for Bryce Wilson. Shocker. Panel sided with Felix Bautista. They sided with us for Jonah Heim. They sided with Christopher Morel. They sided with Andrew Vaughn. They sided with Adolis Garcia. They sided with Monasterio. They sided with us for Kyle Lewis. So basically, they sided with us for all the bad players. And they sided with us for Trevor Rogers. My point taken. Okay, so that is all of our money being spent. With everything done, that leaves us with $10 million. $10 million is left in our budget. And remember, Skubal probably gets traded. Let me simulate a little bit further so more things are done here. Okay, so more or less everybody should be signed to their new deals. I think Zach Gallen gets traded. Zach Gallen's been a great pitcher for us, a great pitcher. 13 games in year 1, 21 games in year 2. He's been a great pitcher for us, but Bieber's been even better. So I would prefer to keep Shane Bieber around. And I don't know what it looks like with Zach Gallen's contract coming up, so we're going to have to figure that out. I have Shane McClanahan in the Padres series, so we're not going to go for Shane McClanahan here. Hunter Brown, he's got arbitration for 2 more years, 12 and 10. We could get Hunter Brown and somebody else, actually. But if I'm going to trade Spencer or Zach Gallen, it's got to be for somebody good. It probably would be for Spencer Strider, but that's going to be too impossible, even with Zach Gallen. It's got to be for somebody really freaking good. It could be Hunter Green. He had a really bad year, but that's why the value is low on him. I'm not sending him to Pittsburgh, that's for sure. Shohei's going to be way too expensive. Yamamoto's too expensive. Logan Webb. Not somebody I would have thought to possibly trade for, but this is a viable option. It's cheaper. We'd save a little bit of money. Not too much money, but we'd save a little bit. Obviously not going to go for Garrett Cole, even though he had a pretty good year. He's just so expensive. Although I've never really had Garrett Cole on any of my teams. This would be dumb, right? This would be super, super dumb if I did this trade. I don't even know if I have anybody that gets it across. I don't want to trade Valet. Do they want a pitcher? They want Connor Hills. Yeah, this would be dumb to do. I'm not gonna go for Garrett Cole. I've never had him on any of my teams before, but I'm not gonna do it. He's cost way too much money. Okay, so who else is a viable option for us? It could be Hunter Brown, and we can get somebody else. Hunter Brown, 12 and 10 both years. He had a really high ERA, but he's 27, 86 overall. And crucially, he's cheap. He's got arbitration the next 2 seasons. He's cheap, and we can grab somebody else. Hopefully nobody too valuable for them. Oh, this is the guy that got back from the Pirates, Khalil Watson. Oops. Who is the guy that we can trade for? Do they have Mike Trout? Mike Trout plays for the Astros? How did he get here? He got traded? I don't remember this trade at all. I feel like I should see that. Do we remember this trade? Mike Trout? I don't remember that trade at all. How did that happen? Mike Trout plays in Houston now. That's kind of wild, actually. They don't really have anybody else that I want, unless they have a young pitcher. They have a young pitcher. They've got Robbie Noseworthy, 99 velocity. His K per nine's not great. His home runs per nine's horrible. Yeah, probably not. Okay, so we move on. We keep on keeping on. Sandoval's going to be a free agent. Oh, they traded Framber. That's how he got here. Framber got traded to the Angels, along with probably somebody else, I would assume. That's how they got freaking Mike Trout. That's kind of wild, actually. I didn't even realize that was a trade. Or maybe I did and I just forgot. I don't know. But I just saw it now, and that's kind of crazy. We could go for Hunter Green, but I feel like that's stupid. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? It might be Logan Webb. I kind of like the Logan Webb deal. He must have got hurt because he only pitched in 11 games. But when he was pitching, he was pretty decent. The Logan Webb deal feels good. It feels like a solid trade. But we have to find another guy that pushes this across. Why don't you put a T on that? Across. Who is that person? I don't know. I don't think I have anybody that does it that I'd be willing to trade. I mean, I'd be willing to trade one of these pitchers, but they don't really want one of them. Do I want to trade Connor Hills? Probably not. I think Connor Hills could have a future on the team, or at least a future in the organization. But I probably wouldn't mind trading Bryce Wilson. So maybe if it's a different combination, maybe Bryce Wilson and somebody else. Come on, there's got to be a guy on here you want that I'm willing to give up. I mean, I would love to trade Mondesi. I can't do that till the deadline. Come on, there's got to be somebody. Kyle Lewis doesn't even get across. Barefoot, no. There's nobody. There's nobody that I'm willing to give up that they want. So Logan Webb, probably off the table. That's unfortunate. How do we get this across? Who wants Zach Gallen? Who wants Mr. Zach Gallen? But it's got to work for me too. I can't just trade him. I mean, obviously we could go for Hunter Brown. That's still an option. It's just I was trying to find somebody else to add to the trade. Maybe I'm being a little too greedy. Maybe I'm being just a slight bit too greedy. I don't know. Who else could I add? I could get Jeremy Pena, really? Not Jordan, not Trout. I could get Geronimo Camacho. Wow. Okay, I could get Jeremy Pena, Geronimo Camacho, who's a young 69 overall right fielder, and Hunter Brown, all for Zach Gallen, basically. That feels wild. That feels really wild. But I might just do it. Or I could get Josh Hader, which I kind of like more than Pena. What about if I get Pena too? Can I just get like crazy? Can I get really Pena? I almost could. Can I get Trout too? No. So I could give up basically just Zach Gallen. That's how little value they have in Hunter Brown and how much value they have in Zach Gallen. This feels kind of wild, but I think I'm gonna do it. How many more years has Hader got? 2. Hunter Brown's on arbitration. I think I'm gonna do this trade. Wow, that's kind of wild, actually. Zach Gallen headed to the Astros. We pick up another closing pitcher in Josh Hader, who we can put in the bullpen. We pick up... who else did we pick up? Oh, we picked up that right fielder. That's right. Geronimo Camacho, who has really good contact right off the gate. Not a lot of power, but okay, that's an interesting right field prospect. And then we get our new starter in Hunter Brown. Now, Scooble's probably oh my god, that's a lot of value. All right, this is where we can get Spencer Strider. I'm just kidding. We can't get Spencer Strider. We can get Hunter Green, though. Who else do we go for? We could get Logan Webb. That's probably a little bit more reasonable to get Logan Webb. Rasmussen, we can get Drew Rasmussen, who had a really good year. I think he made the All-Star team, too. But he's a free agent after the year. That's a one-year rental I don't want to do. Who's the guy? Who's the guy that we give up? I'm just tired of Scooble. I'm tired of Scooble, man. He's killing me. He's killing me softly. But who's the guy that we send back in return? That is a good question, and that's a question I don't know if I can answer. You know what? If we had more money, we could do this trade. That'd be kind of wild, actually. The Logan Webb deal is still on the table. Brian Bello, I just got him in another series, so I can't do that. We could do the Garrett Cole trade, but we don't have any money for that. It's either Hunter Green, but do I want to go that young? Like, we already got Hunter Brown, we've got Paul Skeens, and we've got guys like Mizorowski and Kyle Harrison waiting in the wings. Do I want to go another young guy in Hunter Green? Who, yeah, probably could be pretty good for us. You know what? I might do it. I just thought to myself, I might end up doing this, but I have to do it. Ooh, they got Cole Emerson. Okay. I'd have to get some more prospects in return. You know, I love me some prospects. But all their young prospects are all gone. Where'd they all go? Ooh, there's Reese Hines. I might add him to the deal just to make him a little bit better than he actually is. And you give me back Cam Collier or Christian Encarnacio Strand. Let's do this deal. And then let's throw in... Well, we don't need this guy, and we don't need this guy. Or do we not need somebody else? We probably don't need one of these. Yeah, we don't need one of these shortstops. So let's do that trade. That's a big boy trade right there. All right. New starting rotation is Bieber, Peralta, Hunter Green, Hunter Brown. 2 Hunters. That's kind of wild. And Paul Skeens, Livy Dunn's boyfriend. Okay, so starting rotation looks a little bit crazy. We've got some wild closing pitching players now. We're still looking for that first baseman, though. But the first basemen just aren't there. And I'm still looking to trade... a Rosarena, if we're being honest. Do I want to trade for Stephen Kwan? I mean, Stephen Kwan's cool. I like Stephen Kwan. I don't know. I don't really know what I want to do. Because if I trade for Stephen Kwan, then he just starts at left field, and then what happens with Riley Green? Does Riley Green just sit the bench after that? Like, what happens with him? I don't know. I guess we could trade Jazz. Maybe what we do is we trade a Rosarena for Steve Kwan, and then we trade Jazz Chisholm for a first baseman or something, like somebody that can play first base, and then Riley Green just plays center field. I think that might be a good option. So let's try to find some packages to get get my man out of here. So let's trade Barefoot because I just don't want him anymore. And I have a lot of right field prospects now. And then we trade DJ Stewart. Perfect. Oh, and they want to give me something back? You want to give me something back? I'll be happy. I'll take something back. Depends on what you have. Do you have a young relief pitcher? I'd love a young relief pitcher prospect. They don't really have any like that. Ooh, who's this guy? Edward Klein? I mean, maybe. Do I have what it takes? Probably not, right? Ooh, that guy got close. No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll just throw in the other guy, whoever it was. It was DJ Stewart. Yeah, we'll take Klein out. We don't need to get anything else. Okay, so Rosarena sent to Cleveland. We get back Stephen Kwan, and then we trade Jazz Chisholm. Smooth Jazz, even though I love Smooth Jazz. We trade him for either a first baseman or somebody that can play first base. Now, who that guy is, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Freddie Freeman? I mean, that would be kind of cool, but he's a 79 overall. That's stupid. Is this where we get Casas? Is this where we get Casas? It is. This is possible. We throw in Wes Clark, or we throw in Brady Whalen, I guess. This is where we get. This is where we get our guy. Is there anybody? Can I get greedy? Can you give me anything else? Oh, close on a couple of guys. No, it's okay. Okay, so Casas comes to the Bolts. He's our new first baseman. Smooth Jazz goes to Boston, their second highest rated player now. And we just switch the position of Riley Green. We turn him into a center fielder, and then we're good to go. Then he gets to play. Boom, perfect. And he ends up being an 85. So he was like an 86 or something, 88 maybe, when he was in right field. He's perfectly good here. Perfectly good. Okay, the team looks weird, but I like the team. We need to remove somebody from the main team here. And I think we have too many guys in the 40-man now. So let's move... I'm going to move Cody Hero off the 40-man. Okay. So now... Oh, that's good, because he was on the big league club, too. That's perfect. All right, let's take a look at this team before we end the episode. So we need to put Hunter Brown in here, and we need to put Hunter Green in here. So Bieber's the starter, the ace, then Peralta, then Green, then Brown, then Skeens. Okay, I'm cool with that. And then this is now Devin Williams, Josh Hader. That's three unbelievable closing pitchers all in the same bullpen. I like this bullpen. And then we go to the lineups, and we make Stephen Kwan the starting left fielder at center field. So we got to get Riley Green in there. And then Stephen Kwan starts at left field, and Casas starts at first base. And the team looks a whole heck of a lot different now, that's for sure. But is it better? I hope so. I sure hope it's better. And then on the bench, we've got Frelick, Vaughn, Monasterio, Cuero, and Churio. We'll see how that plays. We got a little bit of speed in Jackson Churio, so if we want a pinch runner, we got that. We got some power in Andrew Vaughn's got 72 against righties. Not a lot of power for a backup or for a bench guy. But we should be good to go now. Hopefully, the changes that I've made here help us win at least a series in the playoffs. That's all I'm after right now. White Sox have claimed Cody Hiroff. You know what? You can have him. I was going to trade him at the deadline anyway. You can have him. I think that is everybody. We can go right to spring training. There we go. We've got spring training, and that's going to be the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Next episode will be the start of year number 3, and hopefully the start of our revenge tour to make it so that we can actually move on past the wild card. Maybe this year we play so well that we don't even need to play in the wild card. That would be the ideal situation, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watch. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.